Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into something that's reshaping how enterprises operate across Europe. Agentic AI systems, and how companies, especially in innovation hubs like Eindhoven, are building them while staying compliant with the EU AI Act. Sam, this feels like a pivotal moment for enterprise AI, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Alex. What strikes me is the shift from reactive to autonomous systems. We've spent years talking about chatbots answering customer questions, but Agentic AI is fundamentally different. These systems set goals, plan workflows, and execute across multiple tools without waiting for human prompts at every step. That's a game changer for enterprises.
So let's unpack that distinction because I think a lot of listeners might assume a chatbot and an AI agent are the same thing. What's the real difference in how they operate?
Great question. A traditional chatbot is purely reactive. You ask it something, it responds based on predefined rules or retrieves a canned answer. An agentic system observes what's happening in your environment, creates a plan to achieve a business goal, executes that plan across multiple systems, and adapts in real time based on feedback. In Eindhoven's manufacturing context, imagine an AI agent monitoring production lines, predicting maintenance needs, and automatically routing alerts to the right technician, all without being explicitly asked.
That's really powerful, and the data backs it up. I saw that 86% of enterprises will deploy Agentic AI by 2026, and workflow automation is now the top AI priority for most organizations. That's not just hype, right?
Not at all. The MIT Sloan data shows 64% of organizations are prioritizing workflow automation over customer service or content generation. For companies in tight-margin industries like manufacturing and logistics, which is Eindhoven's bread and butter, removing human bottlenecks in approval processes, quality checks, and data reconciliation directly impacts the bottom line.
And Eindhoven itself has a unique position here, doesn't it? ASML, Phillips, all these companies with complex global supply chains and labor challenges. Why is Agentic AI such a fit for that ecosystem?
3 reasons. First, labor shortage mitigation. They can automate cognitive tasks without replacing their engineers and specialists. Second, speed and consistency in workflows where human bottlenecks are costly. Third, and this is critical, integrating siloed systems. Most enterprises have their ERP, CRM, warehouse management systems all running independently. Agentic AI ties those together intelligently.
That integration piece is something enterprises struggle with constantly. So when you actually build one of these systems, what does the architecture look like? What are the building blocks?
There are several core components. You need a foundation LLM, GPT-4, Claude, or open models like Mistral, tuned for your domain. Then you layer in RAG, which is Retrieval Augmented Generation. Instead of training your agent on static data, RAG lets it dynamically fetch relevant information from your live knowledge bases and databases in real time.
RAG is huge, but I want to dig into that because it seems like a critical difference between a generic AI and one that actually understands your business.
Exactly right. RAG solves the hallucination problem, when an LLM makes up plausible-sounding but wrong information. By retrieving actual documents, product specs, or customer data from your systems, the agent grounds its reasoning in reality. For a manufacturing company, this means an agent can pull up exact quality standards, customer contracts, or parts specifications before making decisions.
That's mission critical in manufacturing where accuracy isn't optional. What about the MCP standard you mentioned? Model Context Protocol?
MCP is how agents standardize access to external tools and APIs. Instead of building custom integrations for every service, your CRM, warehouse system, email, whatever, MCP provides a common protocol. It's like an open API standard for AI agents. It makes scaling much cleaner because you can plug in new data sources and tools without rebuilding the agent's core logic.
So you've got the LLM, RAG for knowledge, MCP for tool access. What else rounds out a production-ready system?
Memory and state management. Agents need to maintain context across long-running workflows and multi-turn interactions. Then you need orchestration to coordinate multiple agents, handle failures, and escalate to humans when appropriate. And critically for European enterprises, you need a compliance and governance layer, audit trails, data lineage, everything required under the EU AI Act.
That governance piece is non-negotiable now. The EU AI Act is real, and it's not optional for Eindhoven companies. How are enterprises actually testing these systems before putting them in production? That must be complex.
It is complex, and this is where many organizations stumble. Testing agentic systems isn't like testing traditional software. You can't just write unit tests and call it done. You need frameworks that evaluate the agent's reasoning quality, decision accuracy, bias, and edge case handling. You also need to simulate real workflows with real data, but safely in a sandbox environment.
Give me a concrete example. If I'm running a manufacturing facility and I'm testing an AI agent that manages supply chain logistics, what am I actually testing?
You'd test its ability to handle unexpected supplier delays, react to quality issues in incoming materials, prioritize orders under constraint, and crucially, recognize when to escalate to a human. Does it correctly identify when a problem is outside its authority? Can it explain its reasoning to auditors? Does it introduce any hidden bias in how it prioritizes orders? And does it comply with data protection rules when accessing supplier information?
That last point about explainability and audit trails feels essential under the EU AI Act. Organizations need to be able to justify decisions made by AI agents, right?
Absolutely. The EU AI Act treats high-risk AI systems, which includes autonomous agents making significant business decisions, very seriously. They need documentation, impact assessments, human oversight mechanisms, and transparent decision logs. If an agent routes a customer order incorrectly or makes a compliance mistake, you need to trace exactly why it made that decision.
So it's not just about building smart systems. It's about building transparent, auditable systems. What advice would you give to an enterprise in Eindhoven that's just starting their agentic AI journey?
Start small with a high-value pilot. Pick one workflow with clear ROI and manageable risk, maybe supply chain optimization or quality assurance. Build with modularity in mind from day one. Don't create a monolithic system. Implement RAG and MCP from the start so you can scale without re-architecting. And involve your compliance and legal teams early. The EU AI Act isn't something you bolt on at the end.
Great advice. Sam, what about the choice of LLM? Should companies go with proprietary models or open source?
It depends on their constraints. Proprietary models like GPT-4 or Claude tend to be more capable, but introduce vendor lock-in and data residency concerns for European companies. Open models like Mistral give you more control and can run on-premises, which aligns better with EU data protection preferences. Many enterprises actually use a hybrid approach, proprietary for complex reasoning tasks, open source for domain-specific tasks where you fine-tune the model.
That makes sense. Looking forward, what's the biggest challenge you see enterprises facing in the next couple of years as they scale agentic AI?
Change management. Technology is only half the battle. You're fundamentally reshaping how work gets done, which means retraining your workforce, redefining roles, and building trust in autonomous systems. Eindhoven companies have the technical talent to build these systems, but they need to invest equally in the organizational side.
That's a really important point. It's not just a technology problem. Well, Sam, this has been incredibly insightful. For our listeners who want to dig deeper into the technical architecture, testing frameworks, RAG evaluation, and the specifics of EU AI Act compliance, head over to EtherLink AI and find the full article. It's packed with actionable guidance for building production-ready agentic systems. Thanks so much for joining us, Sam.
Thanks, Alex. Great conversation. And to listeners in Eindhoven or anywhere else building agentic AI, this technology is powerful, but do it thoughtfully. Build with compliance and transparency built in, not bolted on.
Perfect way to end it. You've been listening to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and we'll be back soon with more insights into AI's impact on enterprise and innovation. Until then, happy building.